Welcome to the NFL Week 12 Breakdown Part 2. Part 1 was just a Thanksgiving Day game, so this will be Sunday's games. Hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. The Lions plus 3.5 got there for us. That was an official best bet, and I did talk about them in Part 1 of the Week 12 NFL Breakdown, so hope you guys got on that one. In this video, I'm going to discuss the Sunday Week 12 games that I have a strong opinion on, which out of the 11 games left is about half of them. And as always, I'll discuss some market analysis, touch on some game theory, and I'll give my opinions on who I like. So let's get right into it. The first game up on the board isn't really a game I have a strong opinion on, but I do want to go over a few things on this. I talk a lot about situational handicapping and, public perception and recency bias and how it can impact the betting market. Well, we kind of have both working together in this one in the game between the Titans and Patriots. A week ago, the Titans were, the hottest team in the NFL, basically. Winners of, I believe, 6 straight. They were getting a ton of public betting support. Then they lose to Houston in a big letdown spot. Houston caught them sleeping. The Titans were very likely looking ahead to this game right here versus the Patriots. Or at least, Titans head coach Mike Vrabel was. But it's almost like the roles have kind of reversed now. The Patriots are now winners of 5 straight. And like the Titans were a week ago, but before the Titans lost to Houston, there was an available, what the look-ahead line is called, but before the Titans lost to Houston, the look-ahead line had the Patriots as 2.5-point favorites if we look down there where it technically opened. It's a big overreaction to a single game here. The Patriots are good. I mean, they could blow the Titans out, but my point is laying a touchdown now with the Patriots has 0 line value. The odds makers told you what this game should be, when they first opened up and made the Patriots minus 2.5 or minus 3-point favorites. Then the Titans play an awful game in which they turned the ball over 5 times, which you guys know how I feel about turnovers and the randomness involved there. But a 4-point line adjustment based off that game, it's too much. And this one actually leads into the next game I want to discuss, and I do have a strong opinion on this next game here. We got Jets and Houston. Houston's getting all the bets and money in this one. And the Texans are getting, too much credit for that win over the Titans. I had Houston in that game versus the Titans, so it was a best bet, so I'm happy they won. But if you dig a little deeper into that game, Houston won in a game where they finished with 3.1 yards per play, which was the lowest out of any team for Week 11. Houston was outgained in that game by close to 300 yards. And again, the Titans had 5 turnovers. So it's kind of misleading. The final score, how the game played out, and then the box score, it doesn't really tell the true picture. It's not like Houston dominated that game. They face a team in the Jets now who are coming off a loss to Miami, but the Jets actually finished with, I believe, 6.4 yards per play to Miami's 5.8 yards per play. So I like the Jets here. Last week I talked about the Jets defense allowing almost 2,000 yards in their last 4 games. They allowed 550 to the Patriots, 530 to the Colts, and close to 500 to Buffalo. But we're talking about top AFC offenses, so now they're playing Houston, who basically will be the worst offense and defense they've faced all season. So Houston really they don't deserve to be favored against anyone, really. And, the Jets are actually a better team. And actually, I'll kind of pull this up to show you guys what I mean here. Let me see if I can do this. Net yards per play is a good way to kind of find out how good or bad a team is. Of course, there's a ton of other factors, but if you want to look at net yards per play, it can kind of give you a pretty accurate idea. If we look up here in this column, Jets defense allows 6.5 yards per play on defense. Now on offense, down here, the Jets have 5.5 yards per play metric on offense. So that's a net yards per play of -1. Jets allow 6.5, and on offense, they force 5.5 yards per play. So that's a net -1 for the Jets. Now, if we go down to Houston below, we see the Houston defense. They allow 6.1 yards per play. On offense, 4.8. So they have a net yards per play of 1.3. So again, both teams stink. It just happens to be that the Jets stink a little less when you look at yards per play. Which I think yards per play or net yards per play, it's one of the most complete metrics. That and yards per point. But I like the Jets here. I also have 3 different systems matching on the Jets. Pretty good ones too. One's like 58%, another one that's like 70%. So I'm going Jets in that one. Let's go down to the next one here. Eagles, Giants. And I like the Giants in this one, plus 3.5. The market looks pretty good on them. Philly's getting bets and money. Line hasn't really moved much. When you see a team that's getting 63% of bets and 62% of money, you'd think the odds makers would all adjust in uniform to 4 or 4.5. But kind of tells me the Giants might be getting some respected money. And when the market looks good in game theory, I can check off those boxes. It's usually a bet for me, and I'm going Giants in this one. The big talk of the week in this game is offensive coordinator Jason Garrett for the Giants was fired earlier this week, and Freddie Kitchens is going to take over the offensive coordinator duties. And some people aren't so sure if that's an upgrade or not, but the way I look at it is Freddie Kitchens isn't being tasked as like the head coaching. He's not being tasked with head coaching duties. He's now the offensive coordinator, and when he was with Cleveland, he took Baker Mayfield from what it looked like an absolute bust and pretty much turned him into like the best version that we've seen of Baker Mayfield so far. I really think he can give a boost immediately with Daniel Jones and the Giants offense, at least in this spot, versus a very soft Philly defense. The Eagles defense, they never blitz. They get no pressure on opposing QBs. And it shows in the numbers too. Eagles allow the highest opposing QB completion percentage. It's pretty much perfect for Danny Dimes. Freddie Kitchen likes to simplify things for his quarterbacks. He likes to add like max protection sets with extra running backs in there to block, double tight end sets. So I'm going with the divisional home underdog in this one. Giants are getting healthy. It's really a perfect opponent for them. And, I know the Eagles have won 3 of their last 4. They've been absolutely gashing teams on the ground, too, running the ball. They can control the clock. Running the ball, opens up the passing lanes, too, for Hurts. But I think the Giants' run defense is a bit underrated, especially over their last 4 games. They've been really good against the run. I've been burned by the Eagles recently. They've continued to get sharp action the past 3 weeks too. But I don't think it's coming this week. It's funny. I saw a tweet, from some expert. I love, these takes from these analysts. They never have real actionable information, but they think what they say is so important. And they get paid to give advice. It's insane. The tweet was something along the lines of Giants being unorganized with Jason Garrett being fired and having Kitchens replace him. And that's why he liked the Eagles. But coaching change isn't always a bad thing. Plus, if you're the Eagles, now you don't really know what to expect. With a new offensive coordinator means a new game plan, and you can basically throw out the previous 9 games of film if you're the Eagles defense, because it's new coordinator. So, but I like, I'm going Giants here. But next game up, let's go all the way down to a 4:25 game. Rams, Packers. Let's see here. Yeah, Green Bay at home. Getting slightly a little bit more bets and definitely more money, but the line has now flipped, which I believe is starting to correct itself. I don't know how Green Bay opened up as a favorite here. Doesn't Green Bay kind of seem, trappy right now? Like just at home and just needing to win. It definitely seems like a trap, but Green Bay is going to be without their best 2 offensive linemen, with Jenkins and Bakhtiari. Last time both these guys missed, Green Bay got crushed by the Saints. Um, Aaron Rodgers has a fractured toe. He's missed practice all week. I imagine he's going to play. Well, he'll play, but he's not going to be 100%. Aaron Jones looks like he's going to play too, but he's not 100%. I think there's value on the Rams here because of, what the public has seen from them lately with back-to-back primetime losses. And a big part of that was because Stafford not being healthy. Now the Rams come in off a bye week, assuming Stafford's now healthy, which for the Rams, their passing game, kind of opens up the run. I think Darrell Henderson has a huge game against this Green Bay run defense. And actually, I want to check on something real quick here. The Green Bay run D. I know they're not good, but I want to just see what I have them at. Green Bay, the 26th ranked run defense. So Green Bay's run D is pretty suspect. The Rams have the 7th overall run defense. I've got LA rated higher in both, actually, both offense and defense. And now when you start to add in the injuries, I'd probably rate Green Bay even less. So give me the Rams in this one at probably money line. They've already flipped. The line's starting to correct itself now, but they did open up like +1 or +2. So, but yeah, let's go to the Sunday night game here. Cleveland, Baltimore. Bets are split right down the middle. I'm a sucker for those divisional dogs. Getting Cleveland at more than a field goal here. The key for the Browns is the running game. It opens up the pass. And, now that Chubb is back, I have the Browns rated as the #1 run offense. And Baltimore isn't a solid defense. If you look at total defensive yards per play, Baltimore ranks 31st in the league. They're allowing 6.4 yards per play. And Cleveland ranks 11th in defensive yards per play with 5.5. So Browns with the better defense, getting points in a divisional game. Yeah, give me the Browns +3.5 here. I think we're getting value on the Browns based on the ugly game they had versus Detroit. They got caught sleeping against Detroit. They still won, but and plus Baltimore has dominated this series too. I think they've won 4 out of the last 5 times they played. So I think this kind of all adds into value on Cleveland. I think the Browns went outright in this one. What else? Look at the Monday night game. I don't really have anything on the Monday night game, but might as well talk about it, I guess. Seattle looks pretty sharp from a market standpoint, only 39% of bets, but they're getting 70% of the money. They did open as a favorite, though, and now the game's at a pick'em. I feel like there's a small chance Russ might sit out this game. I don't know. For some reason, I just feel like he might sit, or he should sit. I mean, Seattle's season is over. But then again, even if Russell plays, this offense is an absolute mess. I saw a stat. There's been 1 touchdown in Russell Wilson's last 19 possessions. And the defense isn't any better for Seattle either. They allowed 400-plus yards to Arizona with Colt McCoy as the quarterback. I don't even know how Seattle really opened up as a favorite in this one. The line has started to correct itself a bit now. If I'm betting this game, I'm going Washington here. But I haven't touched anything on this game yet, but I think that's going to do it for the Week 12 breakdown. A couple games I really like here, but a couple games I want nothing to do with too. But hope this was helpful. Until next time, good luck with all your bets, and as always, may all the refs' calls and all the loose balls go your way.